Hello, I'm Antonio D'Souza, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my mother, Martha D'Souza, who has influenced me throughout my life in my creative practice. And so let me just tell you a little bit about her. First of all, she was born in Mombasa in 1939 and moved to the United Kingdom in 1975 with my late father, Antonio Louis John D'Souza, and that's where I grew up. I grew up in London. And my mother brought with her a wealth of cultural diversity, I guess, being from her parents being Goan in India. So she had those cultural influences, which was also mixed in with the Portuguese. And then having lived in Mombasa and Nairobi, had those African influences, and then living in the United Kingdom and where she still is now, having those influences, and in particular in the area of food and cooking and flavours. So that's what I want to talk about first of all. My mum was a wonderful cook and produced dishes and was very, very keen to learn and experiment from what other people had made and things that she had tasted. She would, like I said, experiment and improvise until she made something her own. My mum would make our clothes for us, and she made her own dresses and was able to sew, and the sewing machine was a feature that was prominent in our house the whole time, really, on the dining room table or on my desk in my bedroom, where she'd sew curtains or patchwork quilts with wonderful fabrics, influenced African prints, beautiful things that she'd make. The other area I want to talk about my mum is the garden and her passion for flowers. We had a very, very small garden, a very, very small plot, 2 meters by 3 meters, growing up in North London on a council estate. And that was my mum's haven, where she would plant a number of different flowers and shrubs and climbing roses and rhododendrons, and this was like her palette, her color palette, obviously stimulating all the senses. And I would watch from my bedroom window as my mum potted in the garden. She pruned, she sculpted shrubs and things that grew over time, and I would see this living, growing canvas color palette change and develop and evolve over time, over different seasons, over the years, over a number of years. And on all those subjects that I've just sort of talked about, all those areas where my mum loved to create with her hands and her imagination, I can now see how that has all influenced how I work myself, using gaskets and been inspired by geometry and natural forms and shapes come into my work a lot, and that's, I guess, where the influences come from. She just carried out her work with lots of love and passion. So I've created a picture called Martha, which hopefully you'll be able to see, and this design was inspired by her and all the things I've spoken about. So that's my mum, who's been a major inspiration in my life. Could be critical at times of what you did or what you didn't do, or how something could be better. Had very high standards, which is fine. But yeah, she will go on to inspire me in my work and in my life.